Greetings to all, this is Chance in North Wales. This is the January-February 2020 build for the Pure Flight Group build. The Zlin Z-50 LS and the Zlin Z-50M, a somewhat unintentional double build. These are both the 1/172nd scale kits from Brengun. The Zlin 50 is a cantilever, low-winged, single-engine monoplane with a fixed tailwheel undercarriage. Unlike the Zlin Z26 series, which it replaced, the Z50 was of all-metal construction with limit maneuvering load factors of plus 9G minus 6G. It does not incorporate landing flaps. In their place, two section ailerons extend the full wingspan, providing an exceptional rate of roll. The designers made ample provision for trimming. Automatic trim tabs are used on the inboard aileron sections, on one of the elevators, and on the fabric-covered rudder. One outboard aileron has ground adjustable trim tab, and the elevator has a trim tab that can be adjusted in flight. The standard fuel capacity can be supplemented with wingtip auxiliary tanks for ferry flights. The full vision bubble canopy can be jettisoned in flight if necessary, probably if you need to get out in a hurry. The Zlin Z50 made its competition debut in 1976 World Aerobatic Championships, being flown by both the Czechoslovak and Polish teams, with the Czechoslovak Z50 finishing in third place behind the two Soviet-flown Yaklov Yak-50s, while the Czechoslovak team finished in second place in the team competition. In the 1978 championships, the Zlin was more successful, with Czech-flown Z50s finishing first and third in the individual competition, and the German-flown Zlin finishing fourth, with the Czech team winning the team competition. Zlin Z50s finished both fourth in the 1980 championship and third in the 1982 championship. The Zlin Z50 LS, with a more powerful Lycoming AEO 540 L1 B5D engine of 300 horsepower, was first flown by Zdeněk Poleski on 29th of July 1981. The more powerful engine enhanced vertical maneuvers. The Zlin Z50 LS can fly at 760 kg gross weight in the aerobatic category at plus 8 minus 6G. Many Zlin Z50L and LA versions were built to Z50 LS standard in the early 1980s. The Z50 LS won the World Aerobatic Championships in 1984 and 1986 by the debut of the Sukhoi Su-26, a build vid of which you'll find on this channel. In 1986, eventually edged out the Zlin from world-class competition. Another version derived from the Zlin Z50 aircraft is the Baby 50 Zlin Z50M with a LOM M137 AZ engine of the 137 kilowatt, 180 HP. This was introduced as a replacement for the Z526, which was often converted to N normal category and used as a glider tug at aero clubs. The Z50M has limited maneuvering load factors of plus 7 minus 5G. Only 5 Z50M aircraft were built. There's a build of both these aircraft in this vid. The last version of the Zlin 50 is the Z50 LX, which first flew in 1981, piloted by Zlin chef pilot Vladimir Peretuka. This version received additional fuel tanks in the wings, a robust smoke system for airshow routines. It was produced principally at the urging of the show pilot Victor Norman from 1992 to 1995. 7 Z50 LX were built. 4 of them were used by the Red Bull Flying Bulls aerobatic team, led by Radka Mochova. Source for all this has been Wikipedia. I bought this kit, this Z-50M from Hannon's model shop in London a few years ago when I bought the Blahnik and the Brigadier. It was all part of what I called the check set 3 kits. You can see it's quite a nice kit with a nice assortment of marking options. The sprues are of good quality. Finely recessed panel lines, not much if any flash, and it does come with an additional fuselage for the Z-50 LS. The kit comes with resin and photo etch parts. The canopy is thick but clear. The photo etch is seat belts, trim tabs and aerials. The decals are okay in terms of being letters, but I would have liked some stripes to help with the schemes. I think that was a bit of a letdown, and as you will discover, a bit of a pain in the backside on this kit, but overall not too bad. The instructions are adequate. It's a basic build, not that much going on, and they're good enough for what it needs. Cockpit and basic assembly is simple with no major issues. Thankfully, as it's a tail dragger, no nose weight was needed, which makes for a nice change with a small aircraft like this. I pinned the horizontal stabilizer as it's just a basic butt joint, otherwise that would have been getting knocked off far too easily. I tend to use pinning quite a lot in my builds. I used Delux Products Perfect Putty throughout the build. All the joints did need work. In many cases I thinned it down with water, painted it on and then just wiped it clear. I'm rather fond of the stuff. After a base coat of Tamiya Grey to check the seams and do some enable rework, I applied Tamiya White. That was going to be the basis before applying Vallejo paints. I tried to make paint masks using scaled reference images photocopied, stuck down to masking tape with double-sided tape and then cut with the aid of a French curve. But it all went horribly wrong. Red stripes came out okay, but I had serious bleed through with the blue. The masks were just too thick and inflexible to conform to the aircraft surface. So after turning to alcohol to strip the paint, I attempted to order a set of masks from Hannon's, but it wasn't enough in terms of the order value. So to beef up the order, I bought a second Zlin Z-50 LS and paint masks for both aircraft. So that's the second kit, 5-day delivery by Hannon's. You can't complain about that at all. With more marking options. If I'd known about the marking options on the right, I wouldn't have got the mask, but anyway. It went together very easily with no major issues apart from the wing fit, and that was something on both aircraft. Wing fit, particularly under the forward fuselage, is an issue. After a grey base, I applied Tamiya matte black. I normally use a black base ahead of metallics. The main metallic coat was Vallejo Metal Color Beryllium 77.702. That went on without any major issues. A few coats and it was okay. The vinyl masks were of excellent quality and went on easily, but it was difficult to work out what went where, and numbering would have also really helped. I think that was a real issue. Getting the position of these, apart from the obvious ones, was a lot of guesswork and a lot of figuring out. Same for the LS, particularly around the nose, and the flare out on the tail was difficult to work out. When I then applied Vallejo Model Air Red RLM M23 71.003 in a number of thin coats, building it up progressively. I'd taken time to burnish things down first. And that it is with the paint mask removed. Invariably there was some tidying up, but they are actually damn good. So apart from the positioning, they work out quite well. The anti-glare panels were applied by hand. That was Tamiya matte black in a number of progressive coats. The decals gave no issues and settled well with microset and microsole. There were some issues with some small badges because they were just tiny on the LS. And there we have it finished. Bit of an unexpected double build, but nonetheless I'm happy with the overall end results. I should have done a bit more work on the cockpit research ahead of it, because I think the kit details are a bit, well, wrong, quite frankly. I went by the kit instructions on the cockpit, and I could have done more with that, in all fairness. I would also say that on the M version, the prop and the prop boss was a bit of a pain in the arse doing that in resin. That aside, you get two rather nice, interesting aerobatic aircraft with a bit of background and history to them. I think if you haven't built an aerobatic aircraft before, I'd certainly recommend this kit. And there you have a final view, seeing the nature of the matching markings. Overall, this was an enjoyable project. I love this subject matter, but I was not anticipating a double build. There was certainly plenty of lessons learnt about masking. The Brengun Zlin 50 kits are both excellent little models, well worth the time and effort, with a good mix of plastic, resin and photo etch in a small package. But I would suggest getting the LS rather than the M, as there's more paint scheme and marking options for it. I would be tempted to build another one, especially in the Red Bull scheme. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Happy modelling. God bless. Stay safe, guys. This is Chancellor North Wales signing out.